Did I yeah, so I'll start with gold and what I think sort of happening at the minute. So I posted these blue boxes for Ellen the other day. Let's just drop the time frame so see a bit clearer. So as we can sort of see here, this is it's come down deep into another a previous swing low. So structure low there. Go buys up, does its thing, comes back, mitigate something in here. I thought it already played out from this low already, so but it's just come down to fill a lower imbalance. From there, what we've got is we've had obviously it's mitigated that imbalance. It's probably taken some trend line somewhere. I haven't got anything marked, but there's probably something in there. I'll not spend time looking too much to be fair, but we'll just assume that's about right, something like that. Yeah, maybe. Um, so we possibly take liquidity with a sweep, and then we come up and we take a 15-minute high. So on here you can see, obviously, we break this 15-minute low, we pull back. Let's just draw another structure leg. Where are we? There. So get lost. Just take the previous low, stick on the candle. There you go. Pull back, make a new lower low. Then we take the high. So now that it's obviously taken this high, we are effectively 15-minute bullish again. So, but after we take the high, we pull back, usually to mitigate something. So I'll just turn that the right color, orange. So you see the line here. There's the 15-minute high, something like that. So 15-minute bullish again after this closes above this high there. So obviously it's just like zigzagged its way down. It's not something I was really interested in. Again, because we was 15-minute bullish. So what we've done is on the way up, if we go back a little bit, we've got a bit of a trend line in here and then a sweep. And then obviously we've taken the high. So I marked these three. So this one here is created after this little mini high is taken. So this, I mean, it's probably like a 1 minute high for me, 15 for other people, but time frame's irrelevant. It takes this high, obviously, after this trend line is swept. So from the 5 minute, I'll just show you on the five because it creates each one of these creates an imbalance after it. So, but this one I wasn't keen on. Can we put a cross on it? There you go. I wasn't keen on this one because this one's created after this high is taken. So this gets taken here, pulls back, creates another one, and continues long until it eventually takes the 15-minute high. These two, on the other hand, so there's lovely, lovely piece of imbalance in there on the five, and then there's actually a BPR on this one on the five. I don't know what it looks like on the 1 minute, but it looks pretty crappy on the seconds chart. So yeah, you could tighten that up maybe on the one, but yeah, I marked it on the five only. I purely marked it for others, but um, so yeah, as we come to current price, what we've done is obviously we're expecting because we've taken the 15-minute high. I keep saying 15-minute high. because that's what we've done. Taking that, I'm basically expecting it to come down, create a new high low. So I'm not expecting it to come lower than this low down here. I'm looking for it to come and fill an imbalance, preferably one that's taking liquidity, and then leads to a structure break of some sort. So from there, obviously this top one that I said I wasn't keen on was just short of the imbalance anyway. So to me, what that means is it's possibly wants to come lower and it will wipe this out, and it did, like I say, because this was created afterwards, so this didn't actually cause any damage as such. The two below, both pretty good options. As you can see, this one gets tapped into, creates a reaction, but it doesn't lead to anything. So no further confirmations for me. Taps it. I'd be wanting it to at least break above that one. So if we don't get it, so no entry. Nothing happens. This one, on the other hand, this lowest one. So I didn't take this because I was debating whether I was happy with that being taken as my 1 minute high, and this would have been my entry if I was. Obviously, it just about licks it there, but I decided against it because if we zoom out a touch, what I'm wanting to do is this is specifically for you, Matt, because your change of character yesterday was weak.
Yeah, I think that was a bit forced that day.
Yeah, so
Fever's
low,
gone anyway.
yeah, so puts in a low, pulls back, creates a high. So obviously, I repeat this every week. In a downward structure, it's the highest point is the pullback until the low is then taken again. So this doesn't take anything. So this remains internal, pulls back again. This is still internal because this high isn't confirmed until this low here takes this low. So once this passes again, that makes this the fixed last most recent high.
Yeah, that's the sweep.
So that's the sweep there.
Yeah, I
Do
get
one
it.
minute
It's
structure.
cool.
So I was actually wanting this to be broken.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And obviously I was watching it this morning. This obviously comes back. It comes pretty high to obviously pretty much equal highs with this. Doesn't take that, but by the time it had taken this, I wasn't with my phone, so um, there's possibly a trade in there, which we'll have a look at in a minute. But yeah, it creates a low and then eventually breaks a high. So for me, we'll have a look, see if it does give an entry. But obviously, it's mitigated the order block that I was happy with. From that point, I would assume that there's a entry somewhere in all this. Just go a touch back there because I think that one's actually what we're dealing with. So tension's drawn to that. I think that's covered, but we'll check that out on the lower time frame. Purely just looking like these sort of candles at the minute. Just see if there's anything that really takes my fancy. Not too bothered by that one, I don't think. The overall low.
I don't see any bangers.
No. So we'll drop to the
Um,
5. Like I say,
9th of July, 1447 is the only one that's got a decent imbalance, isn't it? Does something. Where
well,
have you got?
well, obviously the rules for me are, mate, is obviously I've bar replayed it from the moment it crosses the 1 minute break of
Yeah, of
structure
course you
line.
have.
So
Yeah, it's too high.
because what obviously ideally I'd have set an alert on this, and
Yeah,
as soon as the alert came through, I'd have been right, find your entry, and so I'd have been looking at this point. Ideally, I would have been looking at this point. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So
look. No, I agree with you about where you change your characteristics. Let's find out. What we got?
Mm, Let's see a very low in it. Yeah. So I'm not seeing any.
That's a super low one though, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
12.59. About that is on 10 seconds.
Maybe that one.
Oh, I think that's what I got. At 1 o'clock, yeah? Yeah. Oh no, you're an hour ahead of me. Yeah, what that is. Yeah, there's that one. I tend to go for the low ones now because I've been taken out so many times before.
Yeah.
I thought something that looked juicy higher up, and I thought I was really, really uh,
Yeah. So obviously, when I was
slick
doing
getting a
the
higher one, and it goes, well, I'm having the low one anyway. So whatever
yeah,
you think is
yeah.
irrelevant.
Well, I mean, I've got no actual data on any of it, mate. But I think there's depending on where it is in the structure. So if you catch, I've said it quite frequently. I think before. Um, I think we often get in good reversal points. We often get two opportunities at the very low. So
Mm,
I think one's before all the breaks are structured to obviously in a buy, for example, let's say. Um, and I'll tell you what, remind me to continue with this in a minute because that previous low that this low taps into is a good example because I thought,
yeah, you know
like I
what
said,
as well,
I
Mike.
thought it already played out. So and then it's come back for a slight lower imbalance, but it
There's a
is
big
something.
there's a big chart difference there, Lee. My chart doesn't have that little down week you've got there.
But that one,
Yeah, doesn't have it.
I'm
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is your imbalance,
yeah,
spot on. Yeah, doesn't
yeah,
have it. My
yeah.
chart doesn't have that.
Well,
I'm
I
on
mean,
10 second.
I can only go off my chart, mate.
No, I know that. It's just amazing the
Yeah,
difference, you know, when you're
yeah.
trying to do analysis. It's yeah, yeah, I agree. I understand.
Uh,
Interesting.
so I marked three on that occasion. What the hell did I drop down?
Sorry, you asked me to remind you about something, and I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
because I was thinking
it's
about
fine.
something else.
Um, yeah, I did mark three little zones. These, I mean, it was all on the 1 second, but I would always recommend the lowest at this. Actually, I'll just leave that on just to see if I was right, if I'm wrong, in case I'm wrong. So I would always recommend the lowest in a buy because I feel like it's the safest. So maybe have something like that. Let's pick a target. And I suppose first target would be maybe this imbalance here. So maybe that's something higher.
Is this the feed you use for your gold setups, Lee?
You what? Sorry.
Is this the feed you usually use for your gold setups, TVC?
Yes, mate. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a difference. I've loaded up TVC now. On
Right.
mine, that imbalance is not filled.
No.
So that's where I would go. That's interesting, isn't it? These things really trip you up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because who knows
Yes.
what's right? Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Um, because it's not going to come back and fill that on my feed and not on your feed. Price
No.
action will do something else. I wonder what
Yeah. Well, I'll play
interesting.
this, mate. See
Yeah,
how
see what
right,
it does, man. Let's see.
wrong
Let's
or
find
right
out.
I am.
No, it's neither, but it's interesting.
Oh, it's filled one. Oh, you fucking beauty.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think I've got that right, mate.
And my feed's crap.
Well, it's funny you should say that because Tom's testing his new strategy and specifically for this feed. So
Yeah, he uses that feed, doesn't he? Yeah. Let's see where it goes. Yeah. You see, I would not mark what you marked based on 10 seconds.
no, well,
Um,
I had to go down to the 1 second to find it because
yeah,
yeah, I mean,
interesting, isn't it? I thought
yeah, I see. Yeah, it's that we're up to current time. So
quite wiki this. I found this feed quite wiki on. We were talking about vids the other day, weren't we?
yeah,
Um, just don't have that wiki. On forex.com, it's not there.
yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
So
It's interesting if you're a bit sad, isn't it?
one
Uh,
1 to 18-ish at the minute, nearly 1 to 19.
and let me just see if I can get. Why would I've got that? What am I on TVC now? That's feed. I'll have to watch this back tomorrow, but I don't have
Yeah,
that.
well, it's
'Cause you've
recorded
got
anyway, mate. So
you did it on 1 second. Let's have a quick look.
yes, mate. Yeah, yeah. 1 second. Well, like I
I'm
say,
trying to.
I suppose like obviously I've done it like this is demo. Like if I was looking for that live, would I have been brave enough to have took that on the 1 second? I don't know. It's but
Hmm,
all my confirmations are met because we've broke to the 15 on the
what's this? It's just before
further
three
back.
o'clock. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I'm not looking at the right. Um,
The tap in's half two-ish. Oh, let me go to the 1 minute again.
yeah, that's what I was asking. Yeah, I can see it. Oh, not half one, half two.
Yeah,
Uh,
240 is the
let's
tap in,
watch. Yeah, thanks.
and 231 is the 130 is the
240 is the tap in. So got it there. Let me just have a quick look, see if I can. Because if I don't follow along on my chart, to get lost. Yeah, I mean that's plain as day, really. I can see it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, on the 1 second, yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
for
that's
obviously, I'll
fine. No,
just
I'm on 10 second actually. Let me have a look at
yeah.
one
Well, the
second.
10 seconds, 10 second on mine is looks about filled. Obviously, if you remember, I'd see this candle here. That's what drew me attention and gone.
Yeah,
If there's something lower, especially if like, I mean, if we think about obviously we're on the 10 second now. If we think about these three candles here,
yeah,
there's this is relatively slow. Candle closes, something
yeah,
slightly happens in here. We get a
yeah,
slight pullback. Obviously, it pulls up
yeah,
to the wick high, pulls back, changes over. Obviously, it's pulling back as it
yeah.
changes over,
No, you're right. I see it's
possibly pulls back,
closed. Yeah,
and then. So I wanted to see if there was. So from this candle changeover, there's possibly. Obviously, this is imbalance. Looks like it gets filled because of this previous 10-second candle. But in
mm,
reality, from this wick
quick. Yeah,
low could be imbalanced there on five or
yeah,
so taking a 10-second candle is sometimes too big of a candle to spot. So
yeah,
and
yeah.
obviously we can look at the 1 second and then identify what actually happens. Um, let's get this somewhere. Yeah, so obviously we have a big shoot up, a bit of up and down jiggery pokery, and then another little shoot up. So
Yeah, it's nowhere near filled, is it?
no.
25 to. It's about 30 cents. They're not filled.
So yeah, technically there's
It's
imbalance
less
there.
than that.
There's maybe imbalance here. There's imbalance there as well, but I would
Yeah.
assume this is maybe the move done. Like,
Mm,
if I mean, if I was taking it live, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd have took that any. I want. I don't think I'd have took that there for the sake of just like catching the trade or not. It's a small enough stop loss anyway,
yeah, I'd have covered that. I'd have covered that
and
later. It's
and we
peanuts when you're
and we
down
have the
that low.
possibility that like maybe this is a breaker block here as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like it could have come just shy of this. So for the sake of catching it
yeah,
and not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like it's there. It's all confirmations was technically met. I just didn't.
Oh,
I
wow, well
was
done. You got it.
busy.
If you'd have taken it, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so there's
Um,
a from scratch breakdown of that.
all right, I'll play it back tomorrow so I can do it. I can follow along. Thanks.
Yeah, like I say, it's a good clean 1 minute change of
What
character.
have we got?
There's a good 15-minute change up there. So I mean, this has the potential to obviously now make a new 15-minute high. But I mean,
About
it's
120. The stop there is about 120.
whatever that is, mate. Obviously, I've drawn spreads on as well. That's what I would aim to.
Yeah, wait a man.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I'd probably be maybe a touch tighter than actually. Maybe to 112-ish, whatever that is. Because gold spreads tight-ish in it. So, um, but yeah, like I say, because we've had these structure breaks, this actually has the potential to make a new 15-minute high. It just depends what it actually wants to do, though. So, but I mean, like we could maybe use if we can spot any liquidity to actually determine where it's going.
Nicely done. Hold on.
No, it's not quite. I'm not happy
Oh,
with
yeah,
that.
it's already a win. Lee, and 20 to 1 trade is already a win.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Anything over 12, mate, for me, I'm happy.
I don't know where do I start.
It is a joke, really. It's
No,
just,
I know.
it's,
Well, no,
yeah,
it's not a joke. It's cool. It's good.
12%
Not a
risk.
joke.
yeah. Oh, obviously, 12% risk. You got to minimum. But yeah, like I say, from there, obviously,
Oh,
pick it,
banger.
pick imbalances or try and find liquidity. I'm not going to find it now because it's irrelevant. But yeah, very much potential to, like I say, create a new 15-minute high. So that's the high, has the potential to come up and tap into this. That might even be a trend line here, so could then pull back again into whatever. You get the idea anyway. So that was that. Anything else you guys want me to go over, cover, anything at all?
What about Ord USD? Got anything lined up for that one?
Uh, I'll check, mate. I don't think so. I've had very little chat time in the last few months, to be fair, mate. So, um, yeah, looks like I've been fairly close with a couple of things. So, I think Matt's away from his computer anyway, isn't he? Yeah, he's not there. But basically,
I'm back. I have to go for a wee, excuse me.
yeah, so mate. Structure-wise, so on a AU, we are obviously creating higher highs, higher lows. I actually did a post on this on Saturday, I think it was. So there's always multiple different structures running through in a chart. So obviously this orange one is the biggest one that we can see on the screen. Um, Obviously this is a high, pulls back, creates a low, makes a new high, and then after that we would expect obviously a pullback, and then eventually create a new high. Hopefully, obviously, if trend was to continue. So that's possibly higher time frame-ish, like 4 hourly, 2 hourly, whatever you want to name it. It doesn't matter as long as you spot it and you know what you look for yourself. Inside that, we've obviously got this little zigzag blue line here. I'll just change that to a deeper color so you can see. thicker line. So obviously, as you can see, it's zigzagging. It's trending upwards at that point. Since then, obviously, I think I posted about this on Saturday. So from here and right wasn't there when I drew all this. We've since obviously didn't want to do that one. We have since created a new low. We've taken this one. Obviously, it's pulling back. That might be the mitigation. It might come to create a new blue lower low. I don't know. I'd have to check all this, see if I would be happy with it. We'll jump on the 1 minute in a minute as well, and we'll maybe start to see a bigger picture anyway. But let's assume that that's mitigated something. We can possibly see this now create a new low on the blue structure. It is very possible that obviously it could just do that now in effect and create like this could be classed as a sweep. It all depends on what it does from here, obviously. So I'm going to jump on the 5 minute, but purely because we can see more of the structure on the what I class as a 1 minute. So dull these lines a touch. So inside the blue structure, and obviously which is inside the orange structure, we've got what I class as my 1 minute going on. So obviously we've got a high, low, breaks here, so possible trade buy from there at some point. Probably looks like there's a trend line down there. Yeah. Trend line there, sweep, break to the upside up here. And then this probably mitigates what causes the thing. That's off the topic though. But as you can see, this is trending upwards, low, high, pullback, high. And then we get I didn't want to do that one. Change of character. So this low here, so this is the low that puts in this high. We get a break to the downside. So this is, with it being the green structure, it's the smallest and lowest time frame that I sort of like look at, lowest structure. So change of character, then obviously it comes up, it mitigates an imbalance in there. So obviously from that point, if we was taking this, I did say on Saturday, so where was that? That would have already played out. Somewhere around there. Price would have been up to about here when I was drawing all this out. So what I did say is that the options from Monday was that we would either just mitigate something in this next blue structure. So we would either come mitigating this. So price. The options was it would come down, mitigate an imbalance in here. And then it could have just continued up. 1 minute. 1 minute's the weakest time frame. Obviously, this blue is like 5, 10, 15-ish, like medium sort of like range. So I said, or it will take the low, and then if it takes the low, it will pull back and mitigate something in this whole leg. So second opportunity, this being the first, because that's the most aggressive for 1 minute. We've now broken medium time frame, let's just say, come back, possibly mitigating something just shy of what I would have thought it would have been. I think that was, I don't know what that was. Maybe news, but it's a big wick. But I mean, there's still possibly something in here. I can't remember checking it all, and if I did, I think it was on my phone. So now the play is obviously the risk is that this is a sweep and we are going to break to the upside. But if we're going to stick with rules of structure or believe in structure and believe that we are going to pull back on the orange time frame, well, this is looking like the right mess now. But as you can see, this may well look to come back and mitigate something in here because there's a bit of imbalance in here. So very much possible that we will mitigate something a little touch higher, or unless this is it, then we will create another blue low. Like I said, I think it maybe come down to something in here. Then we maybe continue with the orange. Obviously, as you can see, this structure here, I'm expecting it to, like I said, I've drawn it because I think it'll pull back into this here. So the orange structure, which is a higher time frame structure on this occasion, holds the most weight. So this is the orange is stronger than the blue, and the blue is stronger than the green because the green will change the most. I mean, this could change 3 or 4 times a day. I don't often think it does that often, but it can do. It just depends, obviously, what's printed. So as long as it meets the rules of a structure swing, it can change directions a couple of times a day. It's not that often though. But then obviously once that does, we would then look for the medium time frame structure. So I suppose if we're in the trade, we're always looking at the next time frame up structure to be at least the test. But we can when with the 1 minute with the first and possible second entry, more so the first most aggressive. I would then say, because I did say I think we're due a pullback on this anyway. So because obviously I'm thinking that this high is past a decent amount beyond this high. It created liquidity and swept it. So there's a high probability that this orange structure was going to pull back and
I think my
collect.
structure's slightly different to yours, but I have it in the sell zone for that last leg.
Yeah,
Then leg you got in gold. Yeah, that's my 15 minute.
yeah.
But it's just above the 75% zone.
Yeah.
I had that marked. I've got that marked. My high time frame zone is huge. Goes back to April. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what I've got, Lee.
Yeah.
I think I was
Yeah.
looking for a sell here earlier, but I couldn't see anything.
Yeah. Well, I do think sells. I mean, technically we are still bullish. So I think I've covered
Yeah.
this. I think I've covered this recently a few times as well. So I think we're pulling back. So a pullback is still part of bullish structure. So
Mm,
if we catch sells, I wouldn't be aiming for down here because I don't think it's going to come that
no.
low. I think if it does come that low, it's only going to mitigate something. So obviously, I think it's coming back because I've got this trend line here. This is a sweep. There's a break above here. So I do believe.
I was kind of asking myself, is the pullback done?
Well, this is also a possibility, mate. So
Because it's already gone 50%, give or take, isn't it?
yeah, I
48,
think this is about
45%
bang on.
something. Yeah.
This is about bang on. And
Yeah.
so I don't think I've covered it too much recently. So just let me clean up some of this stuff.
Anyway, I was mindful of that. Yeah, I hear you about not holding for a long target. It's an
Um,
internal structure target. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
get that. Yeah.
so obviously I think there's a good possibility it will come back to something in
Yeah.
here because this obviously this sweeps this trend line and this would have been the break. I would have been
Yeah. There's big
a line
imbalances
up.
down there on
And
the
obviously,
15, aren't
yeah,
there?
and obviously, so I still think it's coming a touch lower. Not guaranteed, obviously, but if it comes down in here and then does a 1 minute break, decent 1 minute break to the upside, then that's good enough for me to go. Confirmations are met at that point, assuming that it doesn't feel like as long
Yeah.
as it's not lower imbalances where I go, it's definitely coming for that.
Yeah.
But also with this being a major high, so obviously I do often say that major highs and lows are liquidity pull points,
Right. Yeah.
liquidity areas. So if we draw a level line from that to there,
Yeah. I got it.
that is our 15-minute thingy. This,
Just clipped it. Yeah.
this, yeah, this is possibly the cause of. Let's see what it looks like on 5, which is why I've got this marked. I haven't traded from it. Yeah, I'm a busy boy, so I mark stuff and then forget. But yeah, as you see, I mean, it's a lovely imbalance there. Look at that. lovely imbalance here. This is the possible cause of that 15-minute, my 15-minute structure high being taken. So this is very likely to always at least get a reaction. So whether it turns it back bullish, no, that's the wrong word. Whether that turns it, yeah, we are bullish overall, but whether this is obviously we're in a pullback, but whether this is the zone that causes it to go back, going up, is anyone's guess, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously trading's just a game of probabilities. Is it probably from here? I would say if you had all this marked and with the everything we've just covered, if you decided to take a trade from there and hold it for a new higher time frame high,
Hmm.
you would be well within your rights to go, yes, do that. I think at that point you probably maybe along the lines of 50-50, maybe, because it's either going to be that or something down in here, like maybe that this little candle here. So if you, it's either going to be that there or there, probably. So, but obviously there's no guarantees. But like we're just stacking confirmations on areas. So in a
I'm
bullish,
trying really hard to get a trend line to justify a sell, but I can't see one. Yeah, yeah, sure. I understand about target. Thanks. I think I looked at this today. There we go. There you go. There you go. There's your trend line. What's that? Let's just check these on sweeps. That's not spread hour. That's not spread hour. That's not spread hour. So you can make a case, but it's
yeah,
done. It's done a sweep up this morning. Not this
yeah.
morning, and it's waiting for change of character, and it's ready for sell. You can make a
But
case.
what are you looking for? Let's see if it's
I was
swept.
looking for a selling. Yeah,
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
think if I can make a trend line at the top on the 15,
yeah.
which I've got actually from the start is 4th of July, 6 a.m. And the finish is today, 2:30 on the 15th. That's it there.
Yeah.
So you could claim that as a sweep, and therefore we're waiting for a decent change of
Yeah,
character.
yeah, yeah,
Let's see what we've got for a change of character. I think we
yeah.
probably haven't
Well,
really
that
got it,
that
have we?
that does fall into um. So if obviously I've just drawn this trend line, I'm just going to delete this change of character line.
Sorry, mate, I
So
was
there's
off on a
yeah,
tangent on my
no,
own
it's
thing.
no, it's all good, mate. We've all got stuff to do. Um, so we've got a possible trend line here as well. Sweep, break to the upside. It takes the low again, just about. So
Yeah,
there is a chance that price is going to come down and probably into that.
okay.
Obviously, I'm not going to check it. I'm going to leave you, but
So
if
I
you
have
want
to
to
write
check it,
another book
yeah, have a look because technically you break because this makes a new
down
low.
there. So that's
This
kind
is
of
a
in the
change of
middle of,
character.
yeah,
Um,
yesterday at 11. Yeah, mate, but I'd take it if I got a sell. I don't mind holding a sell to there and getting out. It's fine by me.
yeah.
I've got no
So,
shame.
but yeah, check that, mate, because I mean these wicks might have mitigated because it might be this that it's mitigated. So you'd obviously have to check it, but there is, like
Yeah,
I said, there is an argument, and if price comes down here and you said, "Oh, I bought from here, Lee, tomorrow or whatever," I'd go, "Well, yeah, I understand. Yeah, same rules as me. What, well
yeah,
done. Win or loss, well done."
yeah.
But also, like say, if you've got the sell, if this has played out, like say, these little pullbacks have mitigated what it was after in here. This sell then means that this could also easily, like you say, come back to mitigate something in this zone here.
Yeah,
You've just got to play your odds. So if
yeah.
you can catch it and sell down to here,
That sell might have gone
it might
actually.
reverse from there or it might come lower. It's like, but don't be upset if you take profit here and it comes here,
Right.
because you just working your probabilities and keeping it
Those days are long
safe in
gone
your
when I
favors.
got.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
afford. after yesterday's, especially, I was interested yesterday. You know that one, the one I decided not to take yesterday. I was thinking a couple of months ago I got really pissed off about that,
Yeah, yeah,
and now
yeah.
now I'm not bothered. I just
No,
go,
no,
oh,
no.
whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, what was it? It was USD.
It,
Was it USD
oh,
CHF yesterday that you
I
didn't
think that
take
was it.
because of
There was a little equal high above,
equal
then I
high?
thought,
Yeah,
oh no,
yeah,
I can't do that.
yeah. No, it's like I said,
Right.
I was thinking I typed it out yesterday. Like you must have felt like a little bit annoyed that it started to like fall or whatever, but in reality, you stuck to your rule, so
It
that
is what
will
it is.
actually make you more profitable in the long
Yeah.
run.
Yeah,
It's
it's the only problem is I don't see many setups.
yeah,
Yeah. So the problem is that's part of the problem is sometimes I force a trade because I go, I've got to set up after 6 weeks of looking,
yeah, yeah,
because I don't see many, so I don't want to let them go when I see one. But it's okay. It's all right. I'm cool with it.
yeah,
Much more cool with it than I would have been a couple of months ago,
yeah,
3 4
yeah.
months
Well, I mean,
ago.
I'm happy that you didn't take it, mate. I know,
Yes.
yeah,
And
like I say,
like one trade wouldn't make any difference. It's not like it's going to make
yeah,
or
yeah.
break the rest of my life. It
So
doesn't really matter. It's
just bef
consistency that matters.
yeah, absolutely, mate.
For
So
me.
I think I posted this for you this morning as well, mate, or last night. Um, you was looking at cells, I believe.
Mhm.
But I wanted to just cover it quickly, just because
Thank you.
I posted it, and but I couldn't find a buy entry. I couldn't find an entry myself, so that's why I left it be.
Have a quick look.
So this is pretty much identical to what I was discussing on gold. So obviously orange structure, fifth high there, creates new low, breaks to the upside here because it takes this high. So I'm expecting it to come back. Well, I mean that must be something like 75%, not quite close to close to 7% pullback. I mean, if there was
Hmm.
imbalance in here, I can't remember if there is, but I just remember obviously but once it comes back and we've got a real good, I mean, you can even see it on the 2 hour. So downtrend into that creates a low high, lower high, lower low,
Yeah.
fucks around for absolutely ages, but eventually breaks it. So all this stuff is internal. I've drawn a box around it because that's pretty much the point I was looking for an entry. So, but I mean, we've got like possible liquidity all under here, bit of a sweep, and then it eventually goes and breaks structure. Um, so obviously because the breaks here, obviously, I mean, it's moved so slow. I mean, that price action there is consolidation pretty much, slightly down consolidation. Um, but yeah, I just couldn't find an entry. Nothing stood out. So, but the principle is obviously that we've turned bullish on the 15, pulled back so far, and then we've had a good 1 minute break to the upside as well, which is a good enough confirmation for me. So,
Yeah.
um, we'll just have a quick look at what it taps into. See if we can actually see it.
I've got a trend line that makes that low there sweep as well.
So that there is spread hour. That looks diabolical. I'd have said that if that wasn't there, but yeah, I'd have never picked that. I don't think, and I don't really think there's anything lower. So that's spread out. So I'd ignore that. That's also spread out. Yeah. See, obviously, if you ignore spread hour, the last low taps fills this imbalance here, so that's gone. Taps into that. Taps into that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's played out anyway, so I'm not even gonna
Yeah, I think it
throw
started.
it around too much. But yeah, obviously the principle is obviously structure was
I have
tell
that little dangly down low at the bottom of your. I have a trend line that makes that a sweep
which one, sorry, mate. This one here,
on the very left of your blue box there.
that one.
Yeah, for me that's a sweep.
Yeah, probably.
So
Just delete this a sec. So
the start is on the hourly. 9th of May midnight. And the end is 2nd of June, 8 p.m. Just before the drop there.
there, that's spreading it.
Yeah, I haven't got that wick on mine.
Yeah, are you using
No,
forex.com?
yeah. Start is 9th of May midnight. Don't think we've got the same start. It's in there, that one there.
That one there, yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's clean on Forex.
Yeah,
Okay, I know.
yeah. I think there'll be something cleaner, to be honest, mate, as well.
It is cleaner if you take it. I think your origin is one candle too far.
Right,
Drop one
okay.
little. Yeah.
That one there. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, I haven't got that one. Didn't see that.
Something like that, maybe. But yeah, we get everyone gets the gist, hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'll call it
Well,
there,
I will
guys.
watch tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's
I'll get
cool. Thank you,
I'll
mate.
get it
Appreciate it.
uploaded tonight anyway, mate. So it'll be ready for whenever you are. Cheers for jumping on, guys.
Thank you.
No worries.
Take it easy,
Thanks,
buddy.
mate.
Cheers, lads.
See you later, Matt.
Hey, buddy.